be showing you how I do a dry manicure. I had already done this thumb and forgot to press record. So yeah, I just kind of like pretended like I was doing it. So this is the micro taper bit from Erica's ATA. And I am just using it to clean off the nail plate and to push back my cuticles. My proximal nail fold doesn't really adhere to my nail plate anymore since I do dry manicuring so frequently. So I don't really need to push it back with like an orange wood stick or anything like that. I just use the detail bit or the taper bit, sorry. And I'm using it at probably 5,000 RPMs. I use it at a really low speed because that's where my comfort level is. You can use it, I think up to like maybe 12,000. I see some nail techs doing it, but I have sensitive skin, so I don't go that high. And yep, that was at 5,000. So now I'm switching it to reverse, and I'm going to be going down the other side of the nail. So the left side of the nail, you go forward. The right side of the nail, you go in reverse. And so I'm just basically doing the same thing that I did on the other side. And I'm apologizing now because there's definitely some areas where I go out of frame and I kind of cut those out. And so now I'm using the flame, the Russian flame from Erica's ATA. And you want to kind of angle it a little bit so that you're using the cheek of the bit rather than just like the straight point of it so that you don't hurt yourself. And this is a bit that I don't use on my nails. I'm using this on the skin area. Like you can kind of see my skin moving when I'm using it. Sorry, I have a little bit of a raspy voice too. I'm not feeling so great. Spring air is definitely taking a toll on me. So another tip that I want to give is to sort of angle the bit a little bit so that it's not parallel to the nail like you would with the micro taper bit. Like you keep that one very parallel to the nail, flat on the nail. The Russian flame or the nib or, any bit that has like a little bit of a belly on it, you want to angle that so that it is not quite a 45, but you also don't want it flat on the nail because you don't want the belly of the bit hitting your nail so you don't create rings of fire. You also don't want to angle it up so high that the point of the bit is digging into your nail, because that's another way to create rings of fire. And those are painful, so you want to definitely avoid that. And you'll see me throughout the entire time dusting off with like a little dust brush. It's like a I don't know, I think it's like a makeup brush or something. I don't know, I got it from Shein for like $1. Doesn't have to be anything special, just enough to get the dust out of your way so that you can see what it is that you are doing. And watching a lot of nail tech dry manicure videos and taking a few educational courses, I noticed that a lot of them don't really go down the side of the nail. But because I was a picker, I have a lot more calloused skin down the sides of my nails than probably people who don't pick. So if you weren't like that, you probably don't have a lot of like hardened, calloused skin down the sides, and you might not really need to do all the extra that I'm doing. So just keep that in mind as well. And I think for now, I'm just going to let you watch me work, and I'll pop back on if I need to. I'm back, so I just am now switching to the detail bit, and I'm just showing you the difference between the micro taper and the detail bit. The detail bit is a lot smaller, and it can get into tighter grooves, and so that, like, this manicure was like the first time I had used the Russian flame in a manicure. I normally use the nib, but I had wanted to try it just to kind of see how it worked for me. And I did like the bit, but it kind of didn't really get everything that, like, how I would normally get it. And so I had to switch over to the micro taper to kind of get the rest of what was left, because it wasn't coming off. My skin is too calloused, and it wasn't coming off with the fine grip. So now I'm just gonna hop back off and let you guys watch me work some more, and I'll pop on in a little bit. cuticle pusher, and all I'm doing is just getting the dust out from the proximal nail fold and the side walls, and I'm pushing back the cuticle. So you'll see nail techs do this thing where they call it the flip after they've gone with like the flame bit or whatever, and they'll sort of lift the proximal nail fold, like the skin flap, up so that they can remove that. I don't really have a lot of that skin flap anymore since I do my nails like every 2 to 3 weeks. And also this time I had to go in with the detail bit to finish off the job. So I'm just using the end of, the cuticle pusher to kind of lift up the flap there. And I just want to mention that I'm not putting a lot of pressure here when I'm doing this. It's very light pressure just to clean out the side walls. So now we're switching over to the ball bit, and I do this at a little bit of a higher RPMs. I am using it at a 10,000, and I think I probably did my thumb off camera. So I use the ball bit just to, I don't really cut my cuticles anymore. But I do sort of just reduce the skin that is there and thin it out with the ball bit. And I do like it for that. I think that it works really well to kind of just reduce what is left over, which isn't very much. And I'm just smoothing out what's left over on the sides that, maybe I didn't get with the other bits. And that's it. After, what I don't show at the end of this, that is also part of my cuticle care routine, is when I'm completely done with my nails, I use the Erica's ETA polisher bit with cuticle oil, and it's an extra fine bit that removes like the microscopic dead skin around your nails and cuticles, and it really smooths everything out. It's like the best bit. It's my favorite. So I think I'm just about almost done here, so I'm gonna let you guys finish watching, and thanks for watching.